Aer Lingus had begun in 1936 with one aircraft flying from Dublin to Bristol. Now, with a European network and a beachhead in America, it was the pride of a modernising Ireland. It had operated without subsidy since 1950. The inaugural Boeing 720 flight to New York carried the Lord Mayors of several British and Irish cities, including Cork's Stephen Barrett. Flying was still a glamorous novelty to most Irish people, and the New York route was relying on an increase in American tourists. Within a few years, the gamble had paid off. Historically, New York had been a city of refuge for Irish emigrants fleeing the poverty at home, and it glittered with a material success that Ireland had never known. So the opening of an office for the national airline on fashionable Fifth Avenue by Aer Lingus chairman Dr. Patrick Lynch, with chief executive Jerry Dempsey, was a symbol of Ireland's new economic progress and a boost to the country's self-esteem. The economic boom of the early 60s also led to Ireland's first internal air service, 5 flights a week to the new airport in Cork. The plane was a Vickers Viscount. The Cork runways weren't yet long enough to take jets. Aer Lingus had been only the second European airline to buy the Viscounts in 1954, and they had made its fortune. They flew the European routes until the short-haul jets took over in 1965. The people of Cork had campaigned hard for an airport, among them Bishop Cornelius Lucy. Now the city's businessmen would have direct air access to London, Cardiff and Bristol. It was at the government's request that Aer Lingus inaugurated an air ferry service for cars. Described as a community-owned enterprise, the airline was expected to help the cause of tourism in any way it could. The planes could carry only 5 cars and 22 passengers, so the service wasn't viable, and it eventually gave way to the growth of car hire and the later car ferry ships. But tourism was no longer a one-way operation.
Es Sharmach bei Rohar Sitachten Aer Lingus go Malaga a Costa del Sal in Eshkut na Spáine, seo an líomh colm cille agus muid ré gon chéad taras.
With the growing affluence of the early 60s, the Irish were going south in the winter. Traditionally, their travels in Europe had been of a spiritual nature. Rome and Lourdes were well-established destinations. Now, the growing Irish middle class was looking for more material pleasures. It could afford 2 holidays a year and enjoy the thrill of coming home with a tan in the depths of an Irish winter. But as the world became Ireland's oyster, there would be a price to pay. There was fierce competition to be an air hostess with Aer Lingus. The pay was unusually good. The uniforms were attractive. There was the appeal of foreign travel. And you never knew what eligible man you might meet on a plane. It attracted girls from the best families, but it was hard work. Some would have said menial. Satirist Miles Nagopoline observed that well-brought-up Irish girls were prepared to do at 30,000 feet tasks they would scorn at ground level.